how to invest in AI. Like anything else, there's a spectrum. And at one end of the spectrum, we have ultra high possible returns with great uncertainty. And at the other end of the spectrum, maybe we have somewhat lower possible returns with less uncertainty. Now, all of this is more uncertain than ever. But that spectrum still exists. And so you can choose a point on that spectrum. Let me give you a couple of examples. You can invest in what we call the hyperscalers. Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, for example. They have established businesses with moats, enormous operating cash flow. They want to get into AI. They maybe feel that they have to compete vigorously in this winner-take-all battle. But still, with established businesses and cash flow and some diversity of business, these are, as I said before, without naming names, some of the greatest companies I've ever seen. So you would think that investing in them would be maybe the low-risk way to invest in AI. But if AI booms and takes off and octuples in the next 3 years, since they have other businesses holding back their growth rate, they're not going to be the maximum profit winners. Then you have established companies, as you said before, we don't know their profitability, their finances, and they're one product companies in the sense that they're all AI. So maybe it's harder to specify their future. But Anthropic and OpenAI, for example, NVIDIA, have a very high probability, I think, not being an expert, a high probability of still being successful 5 or 10 years from now. They may not be the number one they are today, but they're unlikely, I think, to be obsoleted. So they're, depending on the price you pay and its fairness, they may be riskier than the hyperscalers, but they're not make it or break it. They're not, they're already up and running. And then you have startups. You have startups where you don't know, where they may not have revenues. They may have revenues, but no profits. You may not even know what the product will be. But if you can get in at something called, ground level, and one of them turns into be a big winner, you can make an incalculable amount of money.